everyone, thank you for watching. So tonight on Peace and Prosecco, I'm going to show you how I make mini turkey meatloaves and a side of roasted sweet potatoes, and that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So I'm following this recipe from a website that I found years ago, and I've saved it, and it's always something I reference. So if you want to see how I make dinner tonight, then please keep on watching. I have salt and pepper. I'm going to be using this avocado sprayed oil I got from Costco. We have parsley flakes, Italian seasoning, 1 egg. We're going to use about ½ a cup of Italian breadcrumbs, some ketchup, ½ an onion, and then for the side I have our sweet potatoes here. I have a cutting board I'm going to use for the onion and the potatoes, a peeler for the potatoes, and a metal bowl. And then lastly, we will be adding the ground turkey meat, which I have in the fridge. So I like to use a metal bowl whenever I'm using raw meat. It's just something that I prefer. But in no way am I a chef or pretend to be. This is just, I love to cook, and I kind of just gauge and interpret the recipe, but I'm not following it 100%. I do have the oven preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna get started by cutting up the onion, and then we'll mix everything together. So my head's gonna be cut off. I'm gonna be standing in front. I can't quite get the camera props to get me all in together, but we will get started. So I'm going to use this knife, and we're gonna just use half of this onion. So my garbage is actually right here in the island. So if you see me dropping things, it's not going into the floor. And there's the ovens all ready. So I like to kind of cut that little hairy end off and try and peel it. But usually I just take the outermost layer of the onion off to get the skin. So I like to cut horizontally, watching your fingers, being very careful. Now you could grate the onion, or you could dice it small. I like onions, so I don't mind when it's chunky, and I feel like this helps give moisture. Sometimes baked turkey meat, I find, can dry out a little bit. Okay, next I have the turkey meat. I like to buy the 3 pounds container, and then I divide it up, and some of it I freeze, and then if I'm gonna use it immediately in the next 2 days, I just wrap it. I'm gonna drop that into the bowl. Before I wash my hands, I'm gonna crack the egg. Just try and limit the number of times I'm going back and forth to the sink. So I'm doing everything that needs hand washing first. So I just quick wash my hands. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna add my breadcrumbs. I just shake these in by eye, about ½ a cup. You could always add more if it's not binding enough. Same thing with the ketchup. I think it's 3 tablespoons, so I do 1, 2, 3. Italian seasoning. On everything with seasoning, I always just do it by eye. I get an idea of how much they're calling for, but it's rare that I measure, and that's why I like cooking so much better than baking, because baking you have to be so precise. All right, salt and pepper. Okay, so on the recipe, she has it like as a one pan dinner, which is fine, but I like to just keep the turkey meatloaves separate than the sweet potatoes. rather than crowding the pan. So I'm gonna first get these in the oven, and then we'll move on to adding the sweet potatoes, and then we'll pop them in when they're ready. So I took my rings off, and I'm going to mix this with my hand to form 4 mini meatloaves. So you're using 1 pound of meat to make 4 mini meatloaves. And I'm gonna spray the baking sheet because I can't remember if it says to or not, and when in doubt, I always do. So I'm going to quickly do that, then you'll see me mixing it, and we'll form the little mini meatloaves. Next. All right, so this I had just washed, put it to the side. Let's get to a mixing. So when I do this, I try and keep one hand clean until I think that the consistency is gonna work. That way, if I have to add anything else, I have this clean hand that I could still touch the stuff with. So that's what it looks like. I love the chunks of onion in this. I like having that like extra bite in the meatloaf. All right, consistency wise, I think it's pretty good. It's coming together. So what I do is I flatten it out, and then I skewer it into 4 pieces to try and make it as even as possible. So half, quarters. All right, so now this is when I get the other hand into play here. I'm gonna try and make them into little kind of oval. Press them down a little on the pan. And when you pre-scour it like that, you're looking at like a pretty even division. Wash my hands, put the bowl in the sink. All right, when you're done with the raw meat, you can pop your rings back on. This is what it looks like now, divided into 4 patties. So the oven is at 400 degrees. I'm gonna put these in. The recipe says for 20 minutes, stir your vegetables, and then do another 10 to 15. So I'm gonna set my timer off the bat for 35 minutes. Pop these in, then we'll get started on the sweet potatoes. But they look so cute and happy. Okay, so now I have sweet potatoes and a peeler. Again, my garbage is down here, so I'm gonna just peel them right into the garbage. We have another baking sheet here. So I'm gonna spray it. Then I cut these up, and we spray them again with the cooking spray, and then I add some sea salt and peppercorn pepper, and I find that that adds the extra good amount of flavor. So I like to slice them and then do like little half moons. You try and get them the same thickness, but if some are a little thicker, you just cook them until your thickest piece is tender. So now I'm gonna take a light spray, and then I get these that have the little grinders built in, and then I like a lot of pepper. Then I find the sea salt just kind of sticks to them better. All right, so I'm gonna pop these into the top, the same temperature, and then I'll check on them. I like when they're kind of more well done. And then I'm gonna try and leave that so that the temperature doesn't change more often. I'll just check it by turning the light on but not actually opening the door. And then that way our little mini turkey meatloaves can cook. So we will have those, the sweet potatoes on the side, and then we have leftover salad from the other night. So that'll be our vegetable tonight. But all in all, really easy dinner, comes together pretty quickly, and it's so good. So stay tuned. Okay, so we have the finished product here, the turkey mini meatloaves with the roasted sweet potato halves. I made a little side salad. We had some leftover salad from a restaurant last night that I added some tomato, a little goat cheese, some dried cranberries, and then there's a little leftover roll that I kind of put there for presentation. But they came out looking very good. Quick dinner. While it was all in the oven, we were able to clean up, so once we're done eating, we will be good for the night. A little tip, I would use a metal spatula to kind of help get them off of the baking sheet because they did stick a little bit. But all in all, easy weeknight dinner that is healthy and delicious. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time.